Hello everyone, I am Anirban and I will be hosting the webinar for today. Okay, so today we are going to see that how to start with the Python programming language. Means if someone who does not know how to code, then he or she can start his coding journey with the Python. So the first question that someone can ask that why should we need to code? Like why programming is that much of important in our life? So in that case, we can say that programming makes our life more easier. Okay. Suppose you want to solve a simple. You can say you want to solve a simple problem. You can take help from the coding. Means suppose someone is asking you to find that whether a particular value is even or odd. Say okay, let's just say we are taking that 1,000. Okay, 1,000 as the value, and we want to check that whether that is even or odd. Then we can simply do some simple math, and we can say that yes, the number is even. But if we are taking some larger value, okay, let's just say 7 digit of value, then in that case it will be harder for us to calculate the thing. So in that case we can write a code regarding that part, and then if we execute that code, we can easily check that code for any value. Okay, so that's why that may be a simple example of the programming. Also, programming helps us to build simple apps. Okay, we can build so many apps, and apps are also very much important things in our life because apps makes our life more easier. So why? So now the question is why should we start with the Python programming? Okay, and the answer is very simple. Python is one of the easiest programming language. Okay, why it is the easiest programming language? Because the syntax of Python is so simple. Other than the other than the other than Java or C, C++, there are so many programming languages are there, and so Python is much more easier than them. One more thing that is Python provides us so many inbuilt functionalities. Rather, if we use Java or any other programming languages, then in that case, the thing is a little bit harder. So that may be one reason that we can start with the Python programming. Now, how to write a code? This is another thing. So there are actually a simple way to do that. We need a software. Okay. Other than we can write the code in the online IDE. So what is the IDE now? So suppose we want to write a code in Python. So it is not that we can write the code in the system's software. Suppose the notepad, we cannot do that. Okay, we can do. We have to save the file with the Python's extension, but it will be making the things more complex. So we need some software to write the code. Okay, so the name of the software is idle. And whenever we will be installing Python into our system, idle automatically comes. Okay. But the thing is that idle is not that much helpful. Okay. Idle is not that much helpful. Why idle is not that much helpful? Because idle does not suggest us what to write next. Okay. So in that case, we need PyCharm. Now there is a thing about the thing. About the PyCharm IDE. So PyCharm actually is a IDE, Integrated Development Environment. So PyCharm is an IDE. Now, whenever someone is installing Python into his or her system, the idle automatically comes. Idle automatically comes, but in case of the PyCharm IDE, we have to install it separately. Okay. So first thing first, we have to set up the environment where we will be coding. So let us see. So it is the PyCharm Okay, it is the IDE. It actually is a PyCharm. Now suppose we want to write some code over here. Okay, so I have already created one folder in my computer, so that's why it is looking like this. Now let us create something from the initial position. So I am creating a new project over here, and it is asking me to write my folder name. So let us create the folder in the desktop. So I am choosing desktop over here. Then I am inserting one slash over here. Then suppose Python folder. Okay, my folder is created. Python is already installed in my system, so that's why I am getting so many options. So virtual environment, the PyCharm automatically chooses the virtual environment, but we don't have to use the virtual environment now. So we have to choose the previously configured interpreter. That is our system interpreter. But for some cases, it will not work. So we have to choose it. So I am using Python 3.10, so I am choosing that thing. Okay, so our interpreter is selected. Now we can start building or writing some code. Okay, it may take some time. Yeah, so everything is ready. So first of all, I want to talk about something else, that is Python is a object oriented programming language. Okay, Python is a OOP, object oriented programming language, and Python uses interpreter. Now you may ask me that what is interpreter? So there are two concepts. That is known. First one is the compiler, and second one is the interpreter. Interpreter. Okay. Now we have to learn about this thing, because compiler is actually both of them are some larger topics and they are not directly related to coding. But still, when someone is learning about how to code, then he or she should know that how the things actually works internally. So Python uses the interpreter. Now let's just say that we are writing one code. Okay, this is the first line of my code, this is the second line of my code, this is the third line of my code. I'm just taking a simple basic example. I have not written any code over here. Okay, so do not get confused. Now suppose in case of interpreter, what it does is it checks the line one after another. So first of all, it will be checking the first line, then it will go to the second line, and it will be checking that second line, then it will go to the third line. Okay, after that it will be showing us the result. This is the basic funda of the interpreter. Now in Python programming languages, as I have said earlier, that you don't have to write so many lines of code. Okay, so over here I have to create a new file. So I have to right click on the folder name that I have created earlier. I have to choose the Python package. Then I have to write the file name over here. So suppose I am giving the file name as my program. And I am choosing Python file because I will be creating one Python file over here. Okay, so my file is created. Then the basic thing is I can print suppose something like hello world. So whenever someone is writing his or her first code, it is always recommended to start with the hello world. Okay, so I can write like this, print. Okay, as you can see over here that the software is automatically suggesting me to insert the statement over here. So I can single click on the statement. Sorry, I have to press enter over here and the statement is added. And also the brackets are added automatically. Then I can write hello world over here. If I run this code, you can see that output will be coming over here. So this part is known as the console. Okay, the lower part, it is known as the console, and this is the actual coding part. We will be learning the we will be writing our codes over here, and whatever output may be generated, that will be shown on the console, or you can say it is like the CMD. So this was a basic thing about the Python. One more thing is that about the syllabus. So how we can start, and then what is the roadmap? So obviously someone has to learn, like someone has to install Python into his or her system. So that is the basic thing. So first part is the installation. Okay. Then he has to set up the thing. So then it will be the setup. I mean, setting up the environment. Setting up the environment. Third part will be obviously to write some simple codes, obviously. And so getting started with the coding. Now next will be the variables and data types. Okay. So what are the variables and data types? We can see. Whenever someone has learned about the variables and data type, he or she may proceed to the conditional statement, obviously. Then when this part is done, then comes the loops. Then we may go to some advanced topic like functions. We can we will be we will be able to write some functions in Python. Next part is the classes, class and objects. When class and object is done, then there are some topics like OOP concepts. So here there are 4 types of OOP concepts. They are known as inheritance, encapsulation, abstraction, and polymorphism. Okay. Then someone can learn about the GUI part, means graphical user interface. So that is a separate topic, but yeah, we can do that. Graphical user interfaces. It means that whatever code someone will be writing, that will be appearing on the screen. Okay. Suppose in case of some app, so he or she will be able to create some app. So obviously there is a library in Python that is known as the Kinter. Okay. So using the Kinter, someone can do the GUI part, like creating a small calculator, or suppose creating a clone app like Notepad, and so on and so forth. There are so many things we can do by using the Kinter. Okay. And one more thing I want to mention over here, that when someone has learned about this part, then it will be easier for him or her to solve some easier topics, or those are known as the problem solving. So he or she will be able to do this thing. So this is up to the student. Now, after when Kinter is done, then obviously there comes the Pygame. And Pygame is a very famous library in Python, and using the Pygame, we can create so many types of game. Okay. So obviously Snake game is a very popular game over here. Then we can create some games like Flappy Bird. So this is the basic roadmap of the Python programming. Okay, Python programming. Now there are some topics that will be added depending upon the requirement. And also after each of the topics, means suppose from this topic number 4, after each of the after completion of each classes, there will be some practice problem. So it will be easier for the student to learn the topics. Okay. And also he or she will be more familiar with the thing. So this is the basic part about the Python programming languages, and this is the software that we generally use to write the codes in Python. Also, when I am sharing this thing, so let me also show you the idle that automatically comes when we are installing the Python. So this is the default software of Python. Okay. As I have said earlier, that you can see that this is idle and this is the PyCharm. So you can easily see the difference between them. Now suppose I am creating some new file. Okay, so this is the file. Now if I read print over here or PRI, then automatic in PyCharm what actually happens? If I write PRI, it automatically suggests me to write the print. Okay, it is suggesting me some things. But in idle, if I write PRI, it is not suggesting me anything. I am not saying that idle is wrong or like we should not write code in idle. But when someone is starting to write the code, then he or she should use the PyCharm, okay, rather than the idle. One more thing that is known as the command line. Okay, this is the command line of idle, or you can say idle shell. So over here we can write some simple arithmetic thing and it automatically solves them. Wait a bit, let me increase the font size. So as you can see over here, this is the idle shell, and someone can write some simple, someone can do some simple arithmetic operation, or suppose someone is trying to print it, like print, I want to print hello world, like one line of code. Then he or she can do something over here. Okay, so this is the idle shell. Now everything is up to the student that how far he or she can understand. Then after that we can proceed further. So this was the basic terminology, or you can say the initial of the Python programming languages. After that we can build so many things, like we can build wait. Hmm. Okay. So as I was talking earlier, that when someone has learned about the Python programming languages, he or she will be able to do problem solving, or development. So development means that building some apps or games. Okay. Then after that comes the most or the more important part, that is known as the machine learning. So as I am talking about the machine learning, so Python is one of the most famous language for the machine learning part. Because if we use some other languages for this thing, so then it will be harder for us to code. But if we use the Python for it, then we can easily write the codes and we can easily learn the topics. Okay, so Python is very much useful for this. So these are the topics someone can easily cover when he or she is able to write the codes in Python. Okay, or when he or she is has learned about the Python programming language. Okay, so I guess that's all for today. See you in the next session. Okay, have a good day.